It is business studies and class 12th. Last day, I tried to give an idea to you that what are the different advantages of the first organizational structure, the first type of organizational structure, that was the functional structure. Today, let us know that what are the disadvantages of this functional structure. Although it has 5 advantages, that it is, we can the different workers in a particular department, they can be specialized in their own field, and second, that it is easy to coordinate them, these workers, these are who work in a particular department, and third is that we are increasing the managerial efficiency, because the manager has to see a particular department, he becomes expert in that very in his managerial activities, he increases the efficiency, and then this was that this functional structure, it was economical, we had not to incur so many costs on it, and last was that we can provide effective training to our workers who work in this particular department. But dear students, this functional structure, it has some disadvantages as well, because we know that in this world, one thing, if there is a medicine, it has some advantages, but it has disadvantages also. It can adversely affect to one's health. So in the same way, this functional structure has disadvantages as well. The first disadvantage of this functional structure is that it creates hindrance in organizational objective. You know that if an organization fixes the objectives, and now the objectives are to be followed. This organizing is one of the ways that how we can achieve these objectives that we have fixed already, and then we are trying to achieve these goals or objectives. Now, when we try to know when we have divided this our organization in function, we have given it the functional structure, but organizational objectives cannot be attained. They are difficult to attain because it creates hindrance. A particular department works in his own way. He doesn't feel it is responsibility that I will just bother for other departments also. So the organizational objectives cannot be achieved freely, easily. This functional structure, it creates hindrance in achieving these organizational objectives, because a particular department who is responsible for his own department, he has nothing to do with other departments. He has nothing to do with the organizational objectives. He only bothers for his departmental objectives. He only bothers for his particular department for whom he is paid. So the organizational objectives, which is the motive of every organization, which is a long-term objective, organizational objective. So short-term objectives, departmental objectives can be achieved, but the organizational objectives, which is the main focus of every organization, they cannot be achieved. Second disadvantage of this functional structure is that it is ineffective coordination. Dear students, you know that the advantage of this functional structure is that it creates coordination, but it must be, you must understand it, that it creates coordination within the department, within a particular department. But if we will take this coordination in a holistic view, we say that it creates ineffective coordination between different departments. Different departments cannot be coordinated because they do not load the responsibilities, they do not shoulder responsibilities of different departments. So it creates disturbance. It breaks the coordination between different departments. So there is ineffective coordination between the departments. Inter-departments cannot be coordinated. Intra-coordination can be created, but inter-coordination cannot be created. Third is that disadvantage of this very functional structure is that it creates conflict. So when different departments are working, every department goes or he goes on his own way, but the departments who are responsible for their own departments, they create a conflict between the departments. यानी मुख्तलिफ डिपार्टमेंट जो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करते हैं उनके दरमियान एक तजाद सा पैदा हो जाता है. हर डिपार्टमेंट अपनी कामयाबी के लिए कोशां रहता है, हर डिपार्टमेंट अपनी कामयाबी का ख्वाब देखता है, हर डिपार्टमेंट ये चाहता है कि मैं तरक्की करूं, मुझे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बोनस मिल जाए, मुझे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पैसा मिल जाए. तो डिपार्टमेंट्स के दरमियान एक तजाद सा पैदा हो जाता है, कन्फ्लिक्ट पैदा हो जाता है, वो एक दूसरे के खिलाफ हो जाते हैं. ये डिसएडवांटेज है इस फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर का. फोर्थ जो है, it is inflexible. Dear students, you know that flexibility, it is the soul of every organization. If an organization is inflexible, it cannot be, its views cannot be changed, its programs cannot be changed according to the changing conditions, changing this business environment, then the business cannot stand long. It cannot achieve its goals when there is inflexibility. When there is inflexibility, so we cannot change it, we cannot change our organization. In that very context, we say that the organizational objectives cannot be achieved. So this is one of the disadvantages of this functional structure, that it is inflexible. We cannot change it. We cannot think about the changes because every department goes on its way, and no department will agree with us if we will just call them, if we will advise them that you have to change your way, you have to change the mood of the organization, you have to change the mood of the department. For example, we have this sales department. We will try to create change, we will try to change that department. That's our sales motive, that sales, you have to increase the sales, you have to decrease the sales, but there cannot be a consensus between this manager and these rest of the workers. So it is inflexible, and it is one of the disadvantages of this functional structure. Dear students, here let us know that keeping these advantages and disadvantages one side, let us try to know that this functional structure, it is suitable only for large size organization. It is not suitable for small types of organization, because small types of organizations, they have not different departments. Small scale industries or small scale organizations, they have not different departments. There is one man show, that is the entrepreneur, he controls it. It is not, this is possible only for large size of organizations, and there is high degree of specialization. This functional structure needs high degree of specialization. It needs high degree of high degree of training. If the person who controls this functional, who is at the helm of affairs, he must be very much experienced in his own job. He must be specialized. He must be trained. If he is not trained, then he cannot go on with this functional structure. It will prove as a failure of the organization. Dear students, it is enough for the day, and I hope that you would have got it. Inshallah, we will take another topic tomorrow. Thanks for the day.